Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. This morning, I want to talk about mental health and mental health routines in specifically. Before I start, though, I just want to make sure everyone knows I'm not a medical health professional, so take my advice with a grain of salt. And also, I fail. I don't do this all the time. I don't want to make this impression like I'm like doing this nonstop. I mean, I do okay, but sometimes I definitely fail, and we have to be upfront about these things. I don't do all that great sometimes. So, this is what I do as far as my mental health and my mental health routines. The night before, I like to spend my time reading. I like to at least start reading around 8 o'clock, and I'll read until I go to bed, which is between 10 and 11 o'clock at nighttime. I try to put my phone up during this time, so it's usually on the other side of the room, but honestly, I fail at this quite often. This is just a reminder of myself that, hey, you should do this more often. So, I like to spend my nights reading, and that's my preferred activity, and I really enjoy it, and it relaxes me, and I feel like I'm doing the thing that sparks my soul, that I'm passionate about, and that's reading. So I go to bed around between 10 and 11. I'll wake up between 6 and 7:30, somewhere around there. Right now, I'm actually not using clocks as much. I unplugged and put away my clock near my bed, and I'm sleeping a lot better without it, just because I'm not worrying about what time it is. I'm not waking up in the middle of the night and checking what time it is. It's just really working. And also, the clock over here that you can't see, I would look at that a lot while I was reading, if I was reading on my bed, and I turned that around, and now I'm basically just setting alarms on my phone or on my Amazon device to let me know when it's time to do certain things. And this has been working really well, actually. My days are more relaxed because I'm not focusing on the times as much. But anyways, I'll wake up in the morning and do the things that need to be done. But then I'll come and I will stretch and do some exercises. So it's important for me to do these without any music or podcasts or audiobooks. And this is a big change for me. I used to do it all the time where I would listen to something during this time. But I found that when I'm at home, I like to do my stretches and my exercises so that I have my mind to wander and to think. Because later on, I'll use that wandering time in my journaling. So I focus on stretches that help my lower back, my middle back, my neck, my hamstrings, and my glutes. So those are the areas that get tight on me. So I do these stretches. My favorite stretch is probably the hamstring stretch with a yoga rope on my back. Absolutely love that stretch so much. I used to have really bad sciatica issues, and all those stretches has really changed my life, to be honest. Completely changed my life. Then I'll do some exercises. I'll either go for a walk or I'll do some dumbbell exercises. Things like curls, squats, push-ups, shoulder presses, Romanian deadlifts, back rows, large complex movements for the most part. And I'll do that for about 20 to 30 minutes. Usually I'll do 10 reps, 3 sets, but I go through each movement and I don't stop. So I use a relatively lighter weight than what I usually would. So what I'll do is I'll do the Romanian deadlift, followed by curls, followed by rows, followed by shoulder presses, followed by squats, then followed by push-ups. And I'll do 10 of those, 10 each of those, and not stop. And then I'll go right back through. It's like a circuit. And by the time I do 3 sets, I'm exhausted and I'm basically panting because it's tough at times. So after I do that, I then like to, usually I'm on the floor at that time because I just did my last push-up. I'll then do my meditation. I'll set a 10-minute timer either on my phone or on the Amazon device, and I'll do 10 minutes of meditation. And I don't beat myself up too much with the meditation. I just kind of, if my thoughts begin to wander, I'll just be like, okay, let's come back to the breathing. It's all good. And then after that, I'll do 10 minutes of journaling. So I use Evernote on my computer to journal. I don't like to journal in physical notebooks just because I get really bad hand cramps. And also I can type a lot more in 10 minutes than I can write. So, I journal for 10 minutes. And that is huge. Since I've been doing that, my mental health has improved dramatically. The best thing about it is, being honest with yourself and pretending like you're trying to help yourself. And so you're giving yourself advice. And that helps me so much because in my mind, in my thoughts, I'm very irrational. But when I write them down, I'm very rational, and I'm just like, Paul, what are you doing? Why are you thinking that? Like, that's stupid. Like, grow up. Or Paul, like, that's not how a good person thinks about that specific thing. Or Paul, they have, their own things that they have to do as well. So, stop thinking about all these things. It's just really easy that if you don't put it on paper or on your computer, it's easy to dwell on those issues. But I've found that when I spew it out, that I don't have to think about it as much, and that really helps me a lot. So then after that, I'll read something inspirational, like a devotional book, or after that I'll read a little bit in a book that I'm trying to work my way through that I might have had for a really long time. So right now I'm reading The Grapes of Wrath. I only read 10 pages a day, but that's 10 more pages than what I would have read. So I like to do that because it feels like I'm going towards a specific goal, finishing a book or reading a book that I usually wouldn't read in my free time. After that, then I start my day and I do whatever I need to do. But this morning routine, this mental health routine that I do, is a good foundation for the rest of my day. And usually when I do these things in the morning, the day goes really well and I don't have many issues. I don't feel like I'm fighting the currents. I feel like I'm going with the flow, and it just really helps me quite a bit. So I just wanted to share this today because I know that maybe some people are having anxiety or some stress during this time of life with the quarantine and things of that nature. I just wanted to share. Hopefully someone got some benefit out of this. I will talk to you all in another video. Thanks for watching.